I realized the moment I played this game that a page had turned in my imagination, in a way I hadn't planned. I continued falling into its starry expanse, turning a fleeting glimpse into an entire world of possibilities. I have tried to speculate where my life would have landed without it, but I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, the question of what I'll build someday with these hands is inspiring to me. I feared that my enthusiasm might never be fulfilled, but now I start, realizing that perhaps the story might now be written. This is my version of Myst. You probably thought that Minecraft was my favorite game. To be honest, it would be really far down the list of my favorites. But if I group whole franchises together, then I guess you could call Minecraft my fifth favorite? So let's see, if Minecraft is 5, then I guess Assassin's Creed would be 4th? I know the franchise has had some ups and downs with a few different titles, but those 2 first games were pure gold. In 3rd position, I would probably put the Knights of the Old Republic games. This whole list is probably giving my age away, but I actually played them when they came out on the original Xbox around 2002. My second favorite game series is all those Lego movie theme games. You know, like the Batman, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Harry Potter, all those. I love them. Every time one of those come out, I have to play until I 100% the game. Which brings us to Myst. Myst, its sequel Riven, and all the other games in that franchise are the definition of amazing gaming for me. I have a whole bunch to say about this, but before we get too far into this, I thought it'd be fun if we played the Blocko game today.
Blocko! Party time! Excellent!
For those of you not familiar with the Blocko game, here's how it works. This is Blocko. Throughout today's episode, Blocko will be hiding in the background of the video while I talk and build and stuff. Your job is to see if you can count them all and leave your guess in the comments below. In the next episode, I'll reveal the total number of their locations. We do have only about 3 rules for the Blocko game. First, this Blocko appearance does count as the first. Next, if you see Blocko in my inventory, it doesn't count. It just means I made a mistake. And lastly, we're counting Blocko locations, not how many times it's on the screen. So, if you see it behind me, like this, and then I cut away to my face, and then you see it in the same place behind me again, that still counts as only one Blocko sighting. Make sense? Great, let's get going. I guess before we get too far, I should probably explain what Myst is for those of you who aren't familiar. In the original game, you start off by being dropped onto an island with no information or any idea why you're there. By walking around, exploring, and uncovering multiple puzzles on the island, a story starts to unravel. Your initial goal on the main island is to solve a series of 4 different groups of puzzles that will lead you to 4 different linking books. When you touch each of these books, they will send you to a different location to find out more about the story and solve further puzzles to bring you back to the main island. By the time you have solved all the puzzles and unraveled most of the story, you are left with a decision to make at the end. That decision determines whether or not you ultimately beat the game. The sequel Riven and all the other subsequent releases in this series expand the story in really beautiful and engrossing ways, and the puzzles get more complex and fulfilling, but Myst started it all, and it holds a special place in my heart. So I decided to build the main island of Myst right here on the server. Now, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you probably realize that I am a planner. I knew this is what I wanted to do from the beginning of the season, so I've slowly been working on things to do to get ready for this moment. The first thing I did was to select this island as my main base. You're probably wondering why I put my house over on the little island and not the big one. Well, this is the reason why. It's not exactly the shape that I needed, but it's close enough that I can move things around and make it still work. I've slowly, behind the scenes, been altering it to suit my needs better. First, I removed all the trees. Then I filled in all the holes. Finally, I had to remove 2 large sections of land that weren't needed. This one and this one. If you think that's where my planning stops, then you don't know me at all. I don't want to reveal everything in episode 1, but I've been designing in a creative world how I want everything to look and how to fit together, especially all the redstone and the puzzles that I want to include. And since I had the designs, I've been carefully squirreling away all the resources that I need for most of the builds. Well, now that you know the plan, I am dying to get building, but I had a bit of a strange conversation with Aladrium and Jill the other day, and I thought maybe you might want to hear it. So let me play that, and then we'll come back and we'll start the very first build of Myst. Aladrium, do you find that these metal pants chafe your butt?
Metal pants? I mean, what do you mean? These are netherite. They're not metal.
That's netherite. That's metal.
Oh, you two.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh,
no, it's
what
not.
are you
hi.
Us two.
Hi, how's it going?
What's
Wait, we're not.
He's just talking about my pants. He does this a lot. He likes to take my pants. It's a weird thing he has.
I'm not going to take them. I'm just asking how they feel.
Chafy?
Okay, well, I'm just saying, last time you asked me about my pants, you asked for them, so, just keep that in mind. Jill, what are you doing over here?
I am trying to check my shops. I have not sold anything because there's this big...
The beautiful blue dome. Yeah, don't you love it?
The carbuncle.
What?
I mean, can you even see my shop through that?
I can. That's that beautiful balloon through there. That's and you know what? Because the blue of the dome, it makes it look even more beautifully blue.
Cyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't sold anything either, and I can't see your balloon either, so I definitely... We can commiserate together over this.
Well, at least it's safe now. I mean, yes, you can't see it, but at least you're not gonna die.
I can get to it now. Yeah, that was. I couldn't get to any of my shops when that was happening. Those wardens.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Profits were down.
I can't believe that those were there. It's weird.
Does anybody know who? Because I think somebody had to put them there. I saw like a hole in the ground.
Oh yeah, I mean it was moss. It was all moss.
You saw moss.
Say what?
Yeah, I definitely saw moss.
But he's part of the blue crew. He's the greenish part of the blue crew.
Trapped his own shop.
Moss is not part of the blue crew.
Yeah, he's in the blue dome. He's in the blue dome.
He's in there. Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
Oh.
Do you know, I'm more annoyed than upset. I think I'm just.
Oh my gosh, that's like so much worse. That's so much worse. That's so. Oh, I feel properly chastised. Well, okay, all right. Well, I just made the dome. I didn't make it dangerous. That wasn't me.
Oh, you built the dome?
Yeah, but I didn't make it dangerous. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
No, you didn't make it dangerous. You were containing them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to make things better. Yeah.
Oh, so you made the dome that encouraged the wardens to be placed there? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't. No, and no way. No, absolutely not.
It sounds like we need to get the person responsible for this out of the equation for a while. Then there probably needs to be some consequence for,
him and everybody who helped him.
Disaster.
Him and everyone who helped him. Yeah.
Let's just him. Yeah.
Him. Oh, did he just do it by himself?
Just to show an example to the rest of the.
Yeah, I agree that showing example against Moss Logic is probably the right decision here.
And not ban, but just he's not allowed in the shopping area.
Shopping area. Oh yes, where everybody else is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not allowed to sell his own glass.
As I always say, if you can't get along with others, you shouldn't be with others.
Yeah, I think the more of us that get together and rectify this wrong that's been done, the better. Regardless of what side we're on or people are on now.
Yep, absolutely, irregardless.
Did you just say irregardless?
What? Yeah? Hey! What? Oh! Get her, Bebop! Get her, Bebop! Get her! Yeah, that's right! That's right! You can't go punching me in front of Bebop. That's right.
Oh, no. Oh.
All right, bye! Good Bebop, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Why is it staring at me?
just in case.
I haven't done anything.
Just in case. Put that bow away. Bebop, I haven't seen you attack someone in forever. You are so good. I cannot believe it. I think Geo got what she deserved. Thanks for not going too hard on her. But we're going to have to wait a while before we find out what Moss's punishment is going to be. For now, let's go start the build. For this project, I want to do something different. I don't want to do time lapses. Time lapses are very cool, but I was thinking for this one instead, I would kind of talk my way through the build and explain kind of what's going on. And then afterwards do kind of a fancy show off, flyby or something instead. How's that sound to you? I think it'll be kind of fun. It'll be something a little bit different. So as you see, this is not natural. I went ahead and kind of squared this area off. I figured what better place to start than where you actually start in the game on the dock. So the dock's gonna be pretty simple, just gonna be more of just a rectangle. But we will have a retention wall going around it, and it will lead to some stairs and a walkway over here. I will also need to be able to have a stairwell going down to another area down below there. If you play the game, you know there's actually something special down there below. So we're gonna wanna make sure and include it in our build. I think what I wanna do before I actually build the dock is get rid of the water in this pit. Because I believe I'm gonna put some redstone down there, and I'd rather not just have to deal with the water. So let me grab some sand and some sponges, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're ready for the sponges. They don't have a huge range. This may actually be too big wide across for a sponge. So that's why you have to segment it off into sections. So there we are. We have 2 sections going there, and hopefully... okay, that didn't work beautifully. Okay, we'll get it. There we go. It's just gonna require a little extra sponge work. Okay, water is gone, wood planks are in, and this gives me an opportunity to give you a little bit of a building tip. And I can also use this as an opportunity to explain some of my thought process whenever I design this whole Myst into Minecraft thing. Here's the tip. When you're building a dock and you need to put some legs or pylons into the dock, it's always a good idea to use different blocks for above water than you use below water. It helps add some depth and realism, because if you've ever seen like a real dock, everything below water is all gross and has like animals and plants attached to it. So by giving it a darker color below the water, it kind of helps add that natural feel to the build. So for this particular dock, I'm going to use regular jungle logs with the bark on it below the water, and I'll use strip jungle logs above. Now, I like the legs to be longer, but I don't know how deep I need to go for this particular build. So this is what we got at the moment. Now, one addition I'm going to make actually is here at the level of the wood. I'm going to put down a light block and I put a block above it so that I can get some light here on the dock. Now, not only can I get light on the dock in this way, but I can also then get a little extra decoration by putting a trap door here on the front. And that kind of gives us a little fun, little extra addition, but as well as helping light up the dock without having to put like torches and lanterns around. Now I can use this to explain the whole build and some of the reasons behind some of the decisions I'll be making. Over the years of playing Minecraft, we have learned many techniques to improve our builds. And one of them is to add story and life to a build. And one of the shorthands that we have learned to do that with is by adding age. We age our builds with cracked blocks, discolored blocks, greenery, ivory, overgrowth, things that make it look like it's been around for a while. But on the main island of Myst, everything is new. Everything is fresh. There's nothing aged about it, which in Minecraft can look a little boring. These lights and trapdoors right here and here are great examples of how I'm gonna have to change things up a little bit. It's a simple, boring dock, but I'm gonna have to add a few little bits and bobs to make it look a little nicer. Does that make sense? I want to be true to the material, but I'd like it to look nice too. So with that in mind, let's build ourselves a retention wall and maybe add a few little extra doodads to it. The retention wall is done. There's the hole for the future room that's going to be in there. and I went ahead and did the walkway up above. And this is a good example to show the opposite of what the dock is supposed to be. You know that I said the dock is super duper simple and simplistic to match the game? Well, if I had made this walkway like the game was, I was planning on using just a whole bunch of clay blocks, a solid over the whole thing. That's what it looks like on Myst. It's just a solid kind of gray gravelly type of thing. Well, that didn't look good. It looked a little too simplistic. So I came up with this very minor bit of a section-y, pattern-y kind of thing. It's still very gray, it's still very gravelly looking, but it's a little bit more interesting to look at than just a whole bunch of clay blocks. And so I have the staircase that leads from the docks, and oh, don't worry. For those of you who care about this kind of thing, I did take the dock all the way down. Don't worry, my retention wall goes all the way down to the bottom. I didn't just cut it off part of the way up. I did actually go all the way to the seafloor with it. And now this next part I'm super excited for. One of the most important visuals in the Myst game, because it's where you show up on the dock, is a sunken ship right beside the dock. Now in the game, not to spoil anything, but it actually rises up out of the water if you trigger one of the puzzles correctly. I can't do that in survival, so it's gonna stay sunken. But I thought, what if I use an actual Minecraft sunken ship design instead of making it look like the game? I can add a little bit more Minecraftiness into it by using the actual Minecraft ship. Now, I spent a ton of time flying around looking for a fully intact ship that I could recreate, and I didn't have any luck. So, I went to the Minecraft wiki. Hi. I know we were going to go to the wiki page, but in that last footage, you may or may not have noticed that my voice was getting a little raspy, and, oh, too close. Sorry. And I got a little sick. I got so sick I lost my voice, and I had lots of time to build, but no voice to do anything about it. So after I show you the wiki page, the really cool thing I have to show you, it's going to be more of a walkthrough of the rest of the build because, well, I finished it, right? I was sick and had nothing to do but just like build. So there we go. As an apology, I will tell you, behind me, you see all the blockos? You don't have to count them. There are 88 blockos there. Does that count as an apology? I know that means that I fabricated the problem and then gave you the solution, so that's not really that fair. But there you go. Along with all the other blockos in the game, there are 88 behind me right now. Good? Okay? Great. Let's go to the wiki. If you go to the Minecraft wiki and you type in sunken ship, or no, shipwreck. Type in shipwreck. Oh, there you go. Shipwreck structure. What you'll get here is a list of all the different orientations that you can find the ship in. Degraded, only half of it, upside down, all that kind of stuff. But here is the most complete ship you can find. And if you show it, look at this. Okay, there you go. That's a visual over here in the bottom there that shows what the whole thing looks like. And you have layer by layer exactly how to build it. This was so handy. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how handy this was. I could just do this underwater, no problem, correct the first time. I didn't have to worry about whether or not I was getting it wrong. It was beautiful. I love this. So I was able to add this into the Myst dock area without any difficulties. Thank you, Minecraft Wiki. I love you. And there she blows. Or actually, there she sits, I guess. I did add a crow's nest at the top. Minecraft ones don't have crow's nest, but there is one in the Myst game, so I thought I'd kind of meld the two ideas together. And I made sure that it set perfectly and completely under the water. None of it sticks up except for the mast, which is pretty much exactly how it is in the original game. I can't remember if I said that I'm creating this in a way that you all can play it later. Actually, that's a really important thing I left out. My whole goal here is that when I'm done and the season is over and you get the world download, that you can come here and play this whole basically escape island from beginning to end. I thought that was a really fun idea, and I never really had an opportunity to be on a world where I could give out the download like this before. And I know that on Truly Bedrock, they always have the world download afterward. So, there are going to be puzzles, and that barrel is a hint at one of the puzzles for this area, and one of the rules for this area, and that basically the whole island. Since I can't turn it into adventure mode, it's going to be full survival, I'm going to have a few rules. And one of the rules that applies here is that under no circumstance can you touch water. With your feet, with your head, with your arms, nothing. Not even like a teeny tiny bit. That's against the rules. And so that makes this area impossible to get to at the beginning of your adventure, and you got to figure out how you can get to it later. Does that make sense? Okay, now behind me is another little special room. Let's step through here, and you can take a look at what I have. Now, maybe I should probably put a picture of the original up real quick. Here's kind of what it looks like. There's both a stair and ladder for the entrance. The floor is patterned. It's a very solid stone area with a special, obviously eye-catching item in the middle. And that's what I tried to emulate here. A little bit of a ladder down. We got some stairs. It's fairly simple around, although I did add these, which we'll talk about later. Oh, and I put this in the wall, which, we'll talk about later. But this is the best I could do. So in the game, what you have in the middle is this 3D emulator that projects images up. That's obviously not something that I'm going to be able to do in Minecraft. So I thought I'd give kind of a visual representation, and I've always wanted to build with these respawn anchors, but they blow up in the game. So I thought this was a good opportunity. I covered it with glass. I get the cool visual swirly effect without, any danger of this whole area blowing up. And there we go. It looks okay now. I am proud of it. I think I did a really good job of matching the game to what you could do in vanilla Minecraft. But oh my goodness, wait till you see it in RTX. All right, this is the first time I've done this in a video. I hope it goes well, but let's show off the final result of this area in RTX. How cool was that? That was so great, right? It looked so good. I think that's gonna be the plan. I know I've been doing a little bit of Java linked into Bedrock with shaders, but I think for this, I'm going to stick into Bedrock, and I'll just do the RTX that you can get inside that. Sound good? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I have one final thing before we go. At the end of every episode where I'm building here for Myst Island, I'm going to reveal the secrets of the puzzles at the end. That can serve as two purposes. One, for those of you who just want to know about it, who aren't planning on playing it, can see some of the redstone and some of the puzzles that I'm doing. And for two, when you do play this in the future, you can come back to these episodes and see if you ever get stuck, you can see what the puzzle is at the end. That sound good? Okay, well, if you're sticking around, I'll see you in a second. But if you're done for the day and you don't want to be spoiled, thank you so much. And I hope that you found this adequate. It may actually be a little bit more than adequate this time. All right, thanks so much. Okay, everyone's gone except for those that want to know the puzzle, yeah? Okay, here we go. To gain access in this chest, you have to get into this room. And when you go in here, you'll look around and you'll see lots of buttons on here. And you'll eventually see a book in here. They won't mean anything. It's all a distraction. In the original game, this did give you some information when the hologram appeared. As I said, it can't do that here. So I did instead was a very old game trick. There you go. Look at that. And they have to know just to open this door and they'll see from the other side there's a barrel here. But I did want to show you some of the redstone down below just super quick. Okay, if we bust through here, what you have is just a standard item sorter. So there is this key, which I will rename it. It won't be called Ominous Trial Key. It'll be named something specific for the actual puzzle. When you put in the Ominous Trial Key there, it'll filter down and then it'll be read by this comparator. So let's go ahead. Let's see. I think I have got one on me. Let's go ahead and put that in there. It's read by the comparator and it knows to activate the redstone that heads off below the dock. Let's go over there. So now what you have, look, you got a block that pushes out here so you can get to here. And then you've got little jumping pads along the way that get you access to this area. And that's it. That's how it works. There'll be a book inside there that will get you one of the 4 final books that you need to complete this puzzle. Okay? All right. Well, if that's all you wanted to know, that's super simple. There'll be more complex redstone and puzzles later. This is a super simple one. And also, there'll be way more interesting connectivity between the different areas once we get more of them built. All right? Okay. Well, if you are seeing this for the first time, thanks so much for stopping by. And if you are in the middle of trying to solve this now, well, good luck. I hope you're having fun. All right? Bye.